Yes.
Alan? Sorry, I thought it was the I use these technical chairs to get we go back to the desk. I just thought it'd be good to put together just a few photographs of Smokey, just to accept this honor and to have him here with us in this modern technology way. This is a surprise, actually, so, you know, it's like, boom, it's here. But, the rebel base is in range. Rebel base is in range.
This is a tribute to Smokey Crabtree. When they get going.
Which makes it great and appropriate that an honor like this is bestowed, and it is a sudden and unexpected thing, just like Smokey's death in a way.
Yeah.
But it's obviously with great honor and great sadness that I'm here to accept this plaque, and it's a really great thing what Mark has done, and the organization here that puts on this conference to recognize Smokey Crabtree for his input and influence on the Bigfoot community.
Yeah.
And Smokey, for those that don't know or don't know as much, obviously Smokey was a great part of the legend of Boggy Creek, which was something that influenced many, many Bigfooters. When they saw this movie, countless people cite this as one of the reasons for their interest in this. And that Smokey didn't just appear in the film and his son appeared in the film, but this film, The Legend of Boggy Creek, would not have been possible without Smokey, because Charles Pierce, the director of The Legend of Boggy Creek, he did not really know where to go. He needed somebody to take him into those bottoms to get those great shots that you see in The Legend of Boggy Creek, and Smokey is responsible for that. His son had one of the most significant sightings in 1965 that sort of propelled this legend forward and got people talking about the Falcon Monster, and obviously his input, not only from the stories, but his skill in the bottomlands, and to take Charles Pierce there was very instrumental in this legendary movie that still fascinates us today. I mean, through my book and my research, I've just come into contact with so many people that cite that movie or like it and love it, and have shown it to the younger generation of Bigfoot researchers. So the legend lives on, as I say, all the time. And this is Smokey. He's written a book called Smokey and the Falcon Monster. And what's amazing about Smokey is that Smokey was not just one-dimensional. This wasn't just about Bigfoot. Smokey's life itself is a huge, amazing legend. This was an amazing guy.
Yes.
At a very early age, he had to work and hunt and fish to bring food to the table. His father died when he was very young, and he had to become a man at an early age, and they survived down there in the Sulphur River bottomlands, and it was a tough life. And he went on to work as a pipeline welder, which is a very hard job. He traveled the world. He was a boxer. He was a world-class fisherman, world-class hunter. This guy was a woodsman like you've never seen. He could live in the woods. And to his credit, his amazing story, he's written 3 books, and I highly recommend reading those books, because you will be inspired not just by the connection to Bigfoot, but just by a man like that. And in his passing, to me, it's a generation that is going away. We've kind of got it easy here, but this is a guy who grew up in a very, very tough area, a very rugged area, and he's a great example. So earlier this year, he passed away, obviously, and it was a great honor for myself and my good friend Brian Impey to be a pallbearer in Smokey's funeral. And for somebody like me that watched the movie and looked up to those guys and was fascinated by this, this was a great honor and a very surreal thing to do. But as I performed my services as a pallbearer, in a way, it was just not just me carrying it, not just representing the family, but for really all the Bigfooters everywhere who have been influenced by Smokey. And you know, I felt that as I carried that coffin that day, and it's something that's close to Brian. I'd like to invite Brian up to give you a little insight real quick about Smokey's last days. Smokey was so instrumental in this. And Brian lives in the area and has gotten to know Smokey as well and was very close with him over the last couple of years. So this is Brian Impey from Texarkana, Arkansas.
Yeah, Brian. Woo!
Bottom line is, I started out like everybody. I was a big fan, three and a half years ago, whatever. It didn't take months, and this is the man behind the legend. I know that's the name of one of his books, but that's the bottom line. This is the man behind the legend. Yes, he's important to the Bigfoot community, but after a few months, I was invited to his dinner table. It wasn't going in the museum, the bookstore, and all that. You know, and you know, some of these pictures I took. I mean, you know, I got to intimately sit at his dinner table and ask him some of these things that we've all wanted to ask. Yes, it's reiterating some of the things in his book, but the bottom line is, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Hayden, where was he? Hayden Brooks. I'm sorry, right? Hayden. It was one of the more honorable things he's ever felt to sign that book for you. Okay? And look, I know he's a friend of mine. We were pallbearers together, and I mean, it is what it is. Very honored to do that. His second book, Too Close to the Mirror. Tell me a little bit more about that, Smokey. I mean, there's so many stories. Henry May and all y'all fellas, y'all know them all, but the bottom line is Too Close to the Mirror. What is the deal with Too Close to the Mirror, Smokey? He's like, you know, well, on the book cover it says, it shows all these different people, and it shows Jesus Christ. These are, okay, well, why, don't get too close to the mirror, because why? Because you can't see the people who supported you, supported whatever your vision is.
Yep.
And I believe in Jesus Christ. That's what he said. He's like, okay, so don't stand too close to the mirror. And as a matter of fact, that's what I want to say today. Rest in peace, Smokey. I'm never going to stand too close to the mirror, and slap me if I do. Because, I mean, that's the lesson I learned from Smokey, and I try to live it every day, and that guy deserves this as much as anybody does. He is the man behind the legend.
Yes.
Not just about the Bigfoot community. I know a lot of y'all have met him along the way, but he, all to the very end, I visited with him. Little did we know he was at home. Okay, but me and my kids went visiting. He was so gracious to the very end. And and rest in peace, and we are glad to accept this honor for him. He deserves it as much as anybody, I swear.
Amen.
Okay, thank y'all.
Yes.
Woo! Thanks so much. It's a great honor. We're going to present this to his son Jay when we get back, and it's a great honor, and his son will very much appreciate this. Thanks to Mark, and thanks to all you guys.